All right. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us once again. This is Roger Dano from the Magnificent World of Toys. And here we are today for our second episode of the Clan of Fiends show. And I have my buds and my
Clan of Fiends.
Yeah, my
it's right there in the name.
Of Fiends here. Jack Grimmett and Travis from the Enemy Planet. And so today what we're talking about is basically COVID-19 and how it sort of affected us collectors, stores, things like that, because as many of you may know, I guess for those of you who love going on your toy hunts and things like that, going to stores, shops, swap meets, flea markets, comic book stores, whatever, I'm sure that has kind of changed. And but I know there's quite a bit of maybe for some of you it hasn't changed at all, because all of you do your shopping online and stuff like that. But for some people like me, I don't do much shopping online. And you know, I love to go to flea markets. I love to go to toy shops. And you know, I like face-to-face interactions because I like to see what I'm buying. Real quick, so while we're in the subject of toy shopping, as you guys may know, the Nacelle Company, who's pretty much known for, you know, that awesome show, The Toys That Made Us, that, I mean, I guess ultimately is responsible for kind of getting me back into like vintage toys and things like that, are launching a pretty interesting series. I believe it's on Amazon Prime, which is called A Toy Store Near You. I guess before we discuss this, let's go ahead and show the trailer, which they graciously provided us with.
Billy Galaxy here at Billy Galaxy Vintage Toys and Collectibles in Portland, Oregon.
Hi there, we're from Cherry Bomb Toys. We are co-owners of Farpoint Toys and Collectibles in Mays Landing, New Jersey.
Oh, we're married, by the way.
We've been married 18 years.
Our dream was to open up a vintage and modern toy store.
And we own Toy Du Jour Vintage Toys Arts and Farts in Chicago, Illinois.
I've always been a collector, but when you sell, it's a completely different thing.
Yes.
なぜ私がおもちゃになったかというお話から始めたいと思います。
Star Wars.
We're in Haarlem, the Netherlands.
So we're here doing favorite things in the store right now, countdown. I'm gonna start with number 1.
He-Man got me into She-Ra, and a lot of girls I know, it's the other way around.
Coming in at number 3.
Bonkers.
Look at this. Now, with COVID epidemic here, has kind of put a screeching halt to business.
いろいろ考えると不安です。
It honestly is one of the worst times that you could be selling stuff.
I know Billy is struggling to keep me employed.
My family is solely dependent on me.
Trying to get life back to as close to what we were previously as possible.
So we appreciate the fact that we do have an outlet to be able to sell our toys.
How have we survived? Are we surviving? How many times are we going to have to cut our own children's hair?
Be safe, wash your hands,
keep calm, buy toys.
Oh man, I'm leaking.
So Travis, I guess you know some of these vendors featured in this trailer. Why don't you tell us about some of these shops?
Yeah, well, you know, first of all, I love this idea for a show. I think the concept for this show obviously shifted. The way that they were filming this, they were already working on this show before COVID-19 kind of hit. And then once we kind of saw how this was going to impact local retailers, they were able to put something together out of that footage with some supplemental footage that focused on specifically how shutting down impacted them. I love that Billy Galaxy is focused on in this. I lived in Oregon for close to a decade. Would get up to Portland regularly. Billy Galaxy is just one of the long-standing, just key and core vintage toy sellers in the Portland, Oregon area. It's great to see him as part of this. And I bet you guys have actually met him too. He's actually down here a lot, all the way down here to Southern California for shows. He shows up at PowerCon. He's had a booth at the last couple PowerCons. I've seen him at other shows as well. But it's fantastic seeing him. Another friend of the channel, not featured in this trailer, but will be featured as part of the show, as I understand it, is INS Collectibles. Our friends Israel and Stephanie, they're supposed to be part of this. They were interviewed as part of it, so hoping that we see them in that. And then there's other shops I follow online, such as Far Toys Vintage in Chicago, who just have a great online presence. And that's so much a part of what we experience online and as toy collectors, is what is this sense of community. And even when there's a store 2,000 miles away, 3,000 miles away that we don't get to experience regularly in person, we still know who they are. We're still impacted when they're impacted. And I love the sense of community that this show is bringing about to these different shops that each local marketplace has, in order to show support for them, especially during these trying times.
I'm very optimistic that we'll get back to normal. But a show like this is really awesome because, you know, I got a family. I like to take them out. We like to travel. But I mean, I'm almost ashamed to admit that no matter where I go, what state, what country, whatever, first thing I do is I look up to see what toy stores are around this area.
Yep.
And it's great.
100%.
Yeah, because I got boys. I mean, and especially, you know, Daniel. I mean, Daniel, my he's going to be 14-year-old, and he's going to be 14 actually in a couple days. But he loves.
Happy birthday, Danny.
Yeah,
happy birthday, dude.
Yeah, he loves following me on these adventures. So it's like, you know, and so yeah, it's like it's going to be great to go to a state like Oregon and know there's a toy store there. It's going to be great to go to the East Coast and know there's a toy store there. And shows like this are amazing because, yeah, it's like they kind of, well, you already kind of know what to look for. You know, they do the work for you. You're not like over there and just like, you know, checking on your phone and trying to like to scramble to see what's out there. And so, yeah, I mean, I guess looking forward, I mean, it's great that there's a show like this. It's great that, you know, they're doing what they're doing, helping them out, but then at the same time helping us out, you know, and just kind of like, hey, look what's out here. This is what's out here. And so, I mean, Jack, I mean, I don't know. Are you the same way? I mean, because I know you, I'm pretty sure wherever you go, you pick up a little something here and there.
Every time we plan a trip, there must be a toy store involved. I mean, even Japan, my wife and I plot our hotels based on toy stores.
There's toy stores in Japan?
So I think one of the interesting things and what I love about the concept of this documentary is the common thread through the coronavirus, whether it be the illness or the economy or whatever, is everybody is going through a struggle. Even the rich people are going through a struggle with the poor people right now. Everyone's watching stocks, everyone's watching, you know, jobs, everyone's watching everything. And so throughout this common thread of struggle, eyes are opening to these niche areas. Eyes are opening and we want to help each other. We want to help the mom and pops. We really want to like bring, you know, funds back into these businesses. We want to help people. We see all the people that have been laid off or furloughed and we want to help. And it's funny because the toy sellers need to be a part of the toy hunting too. Like, they have to find it. We need this community to expand again. And we're going to see a lot of people and a lot of their stories through a different lens. And I think that's going to open up eyes, not just in the toy community, but to all the mom and pop shops, you know? And there's unity there, and I love that.
Yeah, vintage toy stores are simply a representative, of the macrocosm on how all of this is impacting mom and pop businesses.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating to be able to see this being paid attention to via an Amazon Prime show, because going broad and just saying mom and pop businesses, we're going to focus on them, that's difficult. Jack, you and I have both lived on the East Coast. We've done our fair share of traveling and living in different places, and we tend to get to know those local businesses when we're living there. And so we certainly have that experience of living in different places around the country and knowing how these are impacted. It was nice seeing some familiar faces in this and knowing that some attention is being drawn to the struggles that they're currently facing.
Yeah, I agree. I think every lock key kid from the 80s understands that there's safety in your toys. And, while you run away from the outside world and you retreat and you have to find your peace and safety and something to be brave with, it's there in our toys. You send me outside to fight a battle with the Thundercat sword, I'm going to win.
The battle rages on for Animatron. As Rio Krang schemes to take over the world once again, a new hero emerges. Spyclone, with his powers of perception and cybernetic abilities, inspects his surroundings. With his cyber-chomping jaw and atomic blaster cannon, Rocksteady Trapjaw emerges from the waste pit in an attempt to gain the upper hand by distracting Spyclone. Rio Krang takes advantage of the opportunity and attempts his sneak attack. Spyclone, with his keen instincts and mega-powered deflector, thwarts the attack. Once again, the forces of evil are neutralized, but for how long? Figures sold separately, only from Magwat.
Which one of you guys would like to basically start off by
Jack?
By letting us know how has your collecting been affected?
So what I realized is I'm kind of like the Steve Irwin of collectors, where I'm always going to find something in the wild. We're going on a weekly scout just to see if toilet paper exists still. And then I'm going to approach the Hulk over there. And I find, Red Hulk in Target because there aren't as many people going. So I'm finding things pretty consistently, but I live out in the desert, man. I'm in the Coachella Valley. We don't have those interactive stores like you. Like, I'm pretty much stranded on an island, so I'm doing a lot of online trades and buys, both vintage and new. So,
Jack, are you you mentioned when you go out to Target or Walmart or something, are you finding that there's more there than you would normally expect to find? Here in LA, you just can't find it. There's so many people competing for it, you can't find it. So I'm used to there always being nothing that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
But are you seeing an uptick in the stuff that you want because there aren't as many people competing for it right now?
Yeah, because around my area, Red Hulk, can't find it any. And I got 2 Targets within a 1 mile radius. Can't find Hulk anywhere. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Absolutely. So generally speaking, they don't stock often, but there's also not a lot of people going right now. So, you could actually see an entire shelf full of NECA Ninja Turtles there, and I already have them, so I'm not buying them, but they're there. The Red Hulks are there. My dude over in Palm Desert, he picked up the Ninja Turtle Hot Wheel cars for me, and he dropped one off at my house. He's like, you know, things are showing up, so we're getting them, you know.
Is that different from what you normally would see? Like, is it like, do you normally find stuff that you're looking for there, or is that kind of the same there as it is here, where it's a crapshoot as to whether you're going to find it or not?
It's definitely more hit and miss when people are consistently out. So generally speaking, it could be months or weeks before I get lucky on something there.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I'm not buying things. It just means the things that I want aren't
Right.
there.
Yeah.
So yeah, sorry to cut you off, but where do you shop the most? I mean, how do you shop the most? Online? I mean, it's like, and like I said, has it really like affected? I mean, or has nothing really changed? Because like as you mentioned, I mean, Target's been open all throughout, and I mean, I've even found some pretty cool things at Target, or I normally shop at Target for toys and things like that if it's something I really like. But I mean, yeah, it's like, has it been any effect at all? Like, or is it just like business as usual for you?
You know, it's probably actually increased a little bit for me because I'm home and I'm bored now. As you guys know, I'm a teacher, so I still have a job that's paying me and stuff like that. And I don't have kids, so I can buy myself crap. So, like, I'm buying myself things. I was on Macari the other day and got an Extendor from He-Man. Never had that dude before, so I got him. And on the same note, my wife is out there and she's buying me things. She ordered me my birthday presents, which are my Boglins from ToTimsToys.com.
Don't show me those again. I'm just, every time I'm like, ugh.
And so my wife is literally supporting this collecting habit while we're stuck home, and she's buying me toys too now. So it's increased.
Shout out to Allie for that. Shout out to Grim Sailor Crafts one.
Yeah, Sailor Grim Crafts over there on Instagram, man. She's a gem. You got to check her out.
Cool. So Travis, I mean, I know you're similar to me, and you're frequenting the.
I wouldn't go that far
like that, but I mean, well, you know, as it relates to collecting, you know, and maybe hairstyle a bit. It looks like, but still, it's. I mean, how has it affected your collecting? Because, you know, I know you're constantly out there, you know, like hovering over the flea markets and like that, and picking up like vintage.
So I'm a shut-in. You know, as much as I don't have to leave my apartment, that's what I do. So, but the one thing that I look forward to every week is going out on Sunday, usually, to hit up the flea market, the swap meet, whatever's happening that Sunday, I go hunting. And it is that sense of you never know what you're going to find. I don't go with any expectations of, you know, hoping to find a specific thing. I love just happening upon what I find. Completely eliminating that and not being able to do that has hurt the most. And I understand that's a completely privileged place to be, and that the worst part of my life right now is that I can't go toy hunting at swap meets and flea markets. But that's the biggest part of what I'm missing right now. I consistently do a lot of shopping online, like on eBay. I'm a huge eBay guy. I've been selling and buying on eBay for over 20 years now. That's a big part of it. So I do still get those items that I'm, you know, if I really can't find it elsewhere, if I have a particular need for it. But what I'm doing anymore right now is really buying figure lots. So things that are, it's a bunch of figures in one lot. Sometimes a lot of it's junk. But to get that one piece or that one figure that I'm looking for, that's been a big part of it. And in some small way, that kind of replicates the flea market experience for me, and that I'm getting junk that I really don't need and hadn't decided that I wanted up until this point. But that's kind of been a lot of it. I picked up a couple items that have been specific. I picked up, as we saw in the Star Wars video, I picked up the probe droid, the Black Series probe droid from Hasbro. I picked that up on Amazon. I did pick up, speaking of Target, I did pick up the Target exclusive white outfit Black Widow, Marvel Legends Black Widow, because I knew, again, shopping here in LA, going to Target, hoping to find it, I wasn't going to find it. So I went ahead and ordered it online with some groceries and stuff that I needed to get anyway. But that's kind of been the extent of it. Shout out to people that I'm buying from on Instagram as well. I've been selling a lot on Instagram, and I try to support those people on Instagram who are also selling, because I think that's how we need to all support each other. But it still hurts.
Travis, I noticed about a week ago you just had a crazy claim sale, trying to help out the other collectors, man.
I guess that's one way to put it, helping them out.
I mean, yes, money is good because you obviously just got another haul in the mail.
Yep.
But just the fact that you can reciprocate for others, that feeling of stumbling across the treasure.
And that's the thing too. Like when I did that claim sale, and for those who don't follow me, those who don't know me, I did a claim sale this little over a week ago that had, I think I had close to 500 items in the claim sale. Over 400 of those items were under $5. I mean, I had hundreds that were under $2.
That's
and
awesome.
I think for the people who are like me and they like that flea market hunt aspect, like you don't know what you're going to find. And I had just tons of little weird, I don't even know what they are. They just look cool, whatever it is. And when you stumble upon those for $1 or $2, it's hard not to pick those up. So part of that was strategic thinking on my end for let's get this in front of people. But part of it too is that flea market hunter in me, that collector in me, that what would I want out of this? How can I hope that others will want the same? And that sale was a huge success. I think there are a lot of people out there who are in those same kind of emotional dire straits of missing their weekly flea market hunt, and that if I could contribute some small level of joy to them, in their finding those things, fantastic. Daniel, you picked up a couple.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, before we forget, I'm going to propose that we have a video of a Saturday night sleepover where we watch Terminator 2 and go to the flea market on Sunday morning. Okay.
Hey, I'm all for it, but you'd have to throw American Ninja in there as well. But anyway, yeah, I mean, Travis, any other like recent acquisitions, or I mean, does that pretty much cover it?
No, so that's been a lot of what I've been doing, but I have picked up a few other things. So again, things off of eBay. I am trying where something comes up, and I'll say this: I think a lot of us are in the same state of mind right now, not knowing where things are headed in the next few months, where the economy's headed in the next few months. Trying to be mindful of how much am I spending? What am I spending on? Is this something that I knew I needed a month ago, or is this something I've decided today that I need? But where possible, I am also trying to support the people whose work I love as a toy maker, as a novice into the bootleg toy scene. Certainly there are people whose work I still follow and admire. Friend of the channel, Barbarian Rage, fantastic guy. We've all met him. We all know him. He recently put out a release called his Orb of Madness that I had to pick up. So I'll show that off here.
Nice, yeah.
Scott, this is for you, buddy. This was just an amazing sculpt where every angle that you go on this thing, there's a different face of just absolute horror and just terrific nightmares on this thing. And how can you say no to that? And on top of that, it's made out of a foam material similar to the original Madball. So it actually squeezes. You can see a little bit there. But he sculpted this original and then cast it in a foam material, hand painted each one, giving this with this kind of shadowed look to all the features, and it's just phenomenal. So that was something I picked up recently.
And that comes out,
yeah, Jack.
That comes out of one of Scott's happy dreams, right?
Right. Yeah. This is where he's like, "Oh, I feel good today. I'm going to just transpose all of my joy into a physical object to share with the masses." That's what this is. Scott. Yeah, we appreciate you, buddy.
We love it.
Freaking awesome. Yeah, Scott's incredible.
Do we have time for another?
Sure. Yeah, go for it.
Okay, and this is another artist. This is somebody else I follow on Instagram. He's based here up the coast a little bit. His name is Enface, Enface. He does a lot of graphic work, a lot of artwork. He picked up some items for me from that claim sale that we just talked about. So I offered him a trade. He had something I wanted, and I was like, "Look, I'm happy to trade you for this one object if that's what you want to do." And he hooked me up. He sent me this package that was incredible. So he sent me this figure. Let's see if I can get it. There we go. He calls them armrest. You can see it there. Basically a TV monitor on a body, TV head on a body. I have a lot of TV figures. I love television figures, especially when they're humanoid in some way. So that was all I wanted out of the deal. He sent me just a huge package of stuff. He sent me a loose one as well. I love this one. Let's see. Daniel, can you zoom in on that one? This one is just phenomenal. It's the same figure. He did it in gold. And then he sculpted the TV hollow in the center so that way he could put a skull in there in the TV screen. And this is on a magnet, so that's how it rotates. He's got my number. Anything with a skull I'm on board with. So he sent me that. He sent me, this is a great little, can we see what this looks like?
Is that your finger?
Live human finger. And then he makes these. These are amazing. This is a specialized rubber. These are actual fishing lures of like mermaids and stuff. I haven't opened them because you can see on the breath, like they actually have a smell to attract fish. This one is clam coffee, so I don't want to open them. But I'm just so enamored of the process of this. I want to like make some figures in this same material. So, and this is just a part of it. Like he hooked me up. So shout out to Enface. Really appreciate that trade. Give him a look up when you can. He does amazing graphic artwork as well.
I did get a couple things from your claim sale, which was pretty amazing. You know, it's some visionary.
Shout out to the magnificent world of toys.
Yeah. So and then also this gorilla fellow. This
Battle Beast.
Battle Beast.
Dude, you got a Battle Beast.
Gorilla dude. So it's like,
and the only reason I got rid of that one is because I had a spare.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he would not have left my collection.
No, and it's awesome because I'm always in the lookout for Battle Beasts, and then this Sculby from Secret Base, which I've seen plenty of these. I mean, well, the bigger ones and stuff, but. You know, it's just awesome to get this little piece. So thanks, Travis. That was really awesome. And
I'm glad that went to you, man. That's the perfect home for that.
Yeah, thanks. And then, I mean, well, of course, like I've been doing a lot more. I mean, I rarely ever do like online shopping and stuff like that because my thing has always been sort of like, you know, flea markets, shows, things like that, face-to-face transactions and stuff. But since that's not available, well, you know, I've had to kind of, you know, there's been a couple places have been, you know, have had like kind of like the drive-through pickup, things like that, and you know, and so I did recently make a trade with Mike from Toy Depot for a couple of figures for this.
Shout out to Toy Depot.
Yeah,
big friend of the channel.
Yeah, for this tendril here, you know, I've always wanted these larger, you know, Inhumanoids figures, and so you know. this is like my first, and so I'm really excited to finally have him. He does have like a chip here, like in his fang, but you know, I think that's something I can easily fix. But still,
and that's common. Yeah, that's so normal for that guy.
Yeah, and so I'm pretty excited to finally have one of these. And then also, you know, I have been hitting Target, and I've always been a fan of wrestling, but you know, as a result, I've caught the wrestling action figure bug. So yeah, I picked up this Bret the Hitman Hart, and a couple of other ones are my favorites, like Mr. Perfect, actually my all-time favorite, and you know, just like a bunch of other guys, Ravishing Rick Rude, the Ultimate Warrior, you know, and like.
Are those the Mattel line?
Yeah, they're it's kind of like a mix between the you know, I've just been picking them up, like the Mattel line, and then all the other lines like Jakks Pacific.
Yeah, Jakks.
Yeah, like
that 7-inch scale, 6 to 7-inch scale figure line.
Yeah, so it's like, so yeah, that's really what I've been into. But I mean, it's interesting because, like I said, well, first of all, it's like, yeah, we don't know where this is gonna go, and then you know, I have a family also, so you know, it's like I've been a little more cognizant about my budget and things like that, and how I spend money, and you know, it's as you guys know, I'm really into 1/6 scale, but that's kind of I mean, that's sort of, you know, that's I've really had to cut down on that.
That's a whole different collector's market.
Yeah, and so it's like now, you know, I'm kind of focusing a little more on smaller things. And then another thing that hasn't helped is that, you know, a lot of, you know, the vendors and stuff that, you know, like my dealers, I mean, a lot of them have just not been able to get product. And so, I mean, and it's unfortunate because, you know, I love the hobby, and you know, of course, I'm not gonna leave it entirely, but I just can't like really be 100% invested in it like I used to be. But you know, at the same time, it opens the window for other things and much smaller things, and so, you know, it's like the problem with 1/6 scale is that it takes a lot of space, but something like this doesn't take so much space.
After decades of peace, a new threat emerges, igniting a new war for Animatron. From the deepest, darkest realms of the planet, the Clan of Fiends surfaces in an effort to control Animatron's natural resources. Tentaclaw is ready to grip and snap at his opponents, while Skull at Arms leads the way. As Retinoid observes the terrain, what the Clan of Fiends fail to realize is that the forces of Animatron see it all. Retinoid uses his Iron Fist to disrupt the plans of his adversaries, but Skull at Arms strikes first. Retinoid acts swiftly by raising the Moonstar of Magwat, summoning his ally Wolfstar, the ultimate beast. Wolfstar pounces on his adversaries and swiftly neutralizes the threat. The planet of Animatron is safe once again. Join the fight for Animatron. Figures sold separately, only from Magwat.
Once this stuff is lifted, once we can kind of finally get out there, what's the first thing you're going to do? What's the first place you're going to hit?
Honestly, because I feel like I've been on sabbatical in the desert for 2 years getting this master's degree. So like, I can't wait to make it back to the mainland, right? I want to go to LA. I want to have a toy hunt weekend with you guys. I need to go on a hunt with you guys. And I yearn for it. I really want to do it. I know there's a video in there, so we're going to market that. But just the connection, man. I feel very isolated, and I need to connect again.
A lot of that is very much the same. I do, you know, again, we've mentioned Mike at Toy Depot, friend of the channel. He used to do regular pop-ups once a month. I would love to be back at one of those selling. You know, I'm being pragmatic about a lot of this. I think that we are, rather than going back to normal, I think we're going to go back to a new normal. Mm-hmm. What that means yet, I don't know. Even friends who are like, hey, once this is over, let's get together. I'm being super, super cautious about all of that. As soon as stores are open, I don't know that that means that I'm going to be shopping at them.
Mm-hmm.
I will continue to patronize them online as best I can. I don't know that that means that I'm clamoring for the swap meets to open back up. Those kinds of large gatherings at this point, knowing what I know about the virus and how it impacts people, I'm still being very cautious about that. I want the people that I've bought from, that I've sold to, I want them to be there when this is over. And so if that means holding back a couple more months, being safe, I'm all for that.
Me, honestly, what one thing that I'd like to do, I definitely like to get back out and start producing more like collector profiles, artist profiles, because I know we had a nice slate lined up. You know, I'd say we had like a good 5 or 6 people lined up prior to this happening, and so, you know, and that's the thing is that, you know, first of all, I want to thank my audience for their patience and all that, because I know they're used to a certain type of programming, but still, it's like, you know, it's like, I mean, you know, we're all obviously trying to take care of each other, this and that, and you know, it's but yeah, that's really one of the things that I'd like to kind of like go back out and do these videos and stuff. And I know, Travis, you know, because it's cool, because, you know, you've been like hanging out, you know, you've been like helping me out, you know, doing these, and, you know, we're meeting such great people, and just kind of like having a great time, you know, on our weekends and stuff, like doing these things. And so, yeah, it's honestly something that I really want to get back out to start doing. And yeah, and you know, and then also as it relates to, like, you know, flea markets and stuff, I want to start going out to flea markets, because, you know, it's like my whole family enjoys it. Anything you guys would like to say to the viewing audience before we wrap?
I guess keep playing with toys, keep yourself young, right?
Will do.
Yeah.
Don't fall victim of a dark time. All right. A lot of people can think negatively during this, but breathe, find your innocence, and embrace it. I'm Graph Angel 1. You could see me on Instagram. Find me there. Thank you very much.
Yep, and very much the same. I mean, this is very much a hobby and a community that really is encouraging of others who are in the same habits and the same hobbies and have the same interests. You know, we are there. For those who are watching this channel, part of what so much of this particular show came out of, this whole Clan of Fiends idea came out of just us wanting to talk toys with people of a similar mindset. So this is an opportunity for us to share with each other what we're thinking about this, but also you, the viewer at home. This is your opportunity to let us know what you think about all this. What do you want to hear from us? What topics would you love to see? This is all part of just that community of toy collectors, toy photographers, toy makers, and just toy players. You know, like, if you like to play with your toys, that's me, that's Jack, that's Daniel.
Thanks, guys, and thank you for all that. And once again, yeah, thank you guys for allowing this to be hosted here on the Magnificent World of Toys. And, you know, it's always just
thank you, Daniel.
Kind of, I mean, just a chit chat. I mean, you know, it's funny. We've only, this is only our second show, and we've got like
and this second show is only like 20% of what we've actually talked about.
Yeah, and so
there's so much more to discuss.
Exactly, and also, yeah, like a big thanks to Rich Merrick and the Nacelle Company for providing us with that trailer. Yeah, guys, I guess with that being said, may those who play never gray. Once again, thank you for joining us, and stay safe, and we hope to see you guys soon. Take care.
We'll see you next time.